Coming on live today to talk with you about an experience I had. It was really a wake-up call, moving from a habit of busyness and doing, just constantly doing to be productive, to more of a peaceful state on a daily basis and higher levels of productivity and fulfillment. So I want to share with you the 3 belief shifts that I went through and share with you my personal story and some uncomfortable emotions I experienced, because I bet you can relate. And leave you with some questions to ask yourself if you're feeling like you're too busy and that's depleting you, exhausting you, making you feel like you're burning the candle at both ends, so that you don't have to stay there, because there's options and you have more power than you might be thinking. So I'm going to get my notes all set up here for you because I have some things I'm going to share with you from my book today that's coming out soon, From Burnout to Bliss. And I thought this was a good way to introduce some of you who don't know me yet. Amy Engelmark. I'm the creator of the Joyful Wealth methodology and the Mountain Movers program, among a couple other things. And I work with international leaders and creative entrepreneurs, medical professionals who want to achieve really daunting, meaningful goals and dreams. And they want to do that with more peace and joy. And they want to have the right mindset and the right daily habits so that they can move forward with ease and still have fun while they're up to really big work. So the day that I had a wake-up call, well, by the way, as I'm moving forward through this, if I don't respond to you on Facebook, it's just because I don't have 2 computers going right now, so I can't see both screens. But if you're joining live from Facebook, welcome. And please do chime in where you're watching from. This is going to be about 10 minutes. So if you don't have time to watch all of it, do come back, because the 3 beliefs I'm going to cover that are necessary for feeling present and productive and peaceful are so crucial to you feeling grounded as you do big work in the world. So come back and watch the replay if you can't watch the whole live. For those of you who are joining me live, welcome. I had a big wake-up call about 6 or 7 years ago when my husband caught me with my phone in my hands, as was the usual, and still can be something that I'm challenged with, is just too much phone time because I do so much of my work on my phone. And he said, "Would you put that down?" And I was caught off guard and felt a bit like I needed to defend myself. Like, this is my work. I treat this seriously. My clients are important to me, blah, 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 blah. Instead of being open to whatever feedback he had to share with me. And at the same time, I looked across the room and I saw my youngest son's face, Simon. And there was disappointment that washed over his face, because he said, "You're always on your phone, Mom." And my heart dropped in that moment. My stomach was upset because I was living a life that was out of integrity. It's one of the greatest motivators we can ever have, is that we are out of alignment. And the work that I do with clients is like a spiritual chiropractic adjustment. Spiritual, mental, physical. If we are in alignment, we feel present, joyful, on track, fulfilled. And in that moment, when my husband said, "Would you get off your phone?" And Simon, my youngest, said, "Yeah, Mom, you're always on your phone." I thought, I am not being present. And I do not feel like I'm living in alignment. And that totally stripped the peace that I thought I was protecting by being always available. Put your hand up, or let me know in the chat box if you have this tendency too, to feel like you need to always be on 24/7 and you need to always be available. And if you're not, it means you're not as valuable, you're not as needed, you're not as important, you're not as worthy. Maybe you won't be accepted and you won't be liked by other people. Maybe you fear you're going to lose business. I did. I felt a slew of those thoughts and emotions, but I wasn't really aware of them because I was allowing myself to stay safe and protected. I'm using all these bunny ears today. I use them all the time. Safe and protected by this false security that busyness provided for me. I felt like if I stayed busy, then I was important. If I stayed busy, then I could avoid what I knew was out of alignment, things that mattered to me, being present for my family, the people that mattered to me most, more than my clients. And I love my clients. My clients are so important to me. Their breakthrough and transformation is topmost priority for me. But if I'm disregarding my children and my husband in the process, something's off big time. So I want to share with you a little bit about that rude awakening, because you might be feeling like you care more about how other people see you and what they believe in you than you do than you care about your own opinion. And in that moment, I realized I was operating from a place of fear and making my decisions about how to spend my time from a place of fear. Well, if I'm not available all the time, what will they think? Versus the first most important belief you can adopt if you want to feel more peaceful and more present, which leads to more productivity, is a belief that I'm needed, I'm important, and I'm valuable, and nothing can add to that or take away from that. That belief has saved my butt, my emotional state, my mental calmness, more times than I can count. Because when you believe that nothing can make you more valuable than you are, no work can validate you and doesn't need to validate your importance, it's just an innate part of who you are, then you don't go looking for acceptance from anything on the outside because you already accept yourself. You already believe you're important. So that's the first belief that will bring more peace and prosperity and presence. Yes, it leads to prosperity too, financial security and financial freedom. When you're at peace inside and you accept yourself, leads to so many positive benefits. So you need to create your own badge of honor instead of looking for that externally. And then when I was able to accept myself instead of fearing a negative outcome would happen when I wasn't always available for other people, I was able to rest and actually enjoy being present. Have you ever experienced this sensation of, okay, well, I'm going to take a break from work and I'm going to set better boundaries around my work hours? Anyone who is an entrepreneur or someone who is easily distracted and highly ambitious like me, and it's hard for you to set boundaries around your time, if that's you, you may be filling those empty spaces with action that doesn't really fill your soul. And you don't want to become really successful and contributing in a big way in the world, but then your soul is empty. Seems kind of pointless, right? So what I ended up doing, we're leading to the second point here, is developing another important belief, which is that self-respect leads to greater respect from others, which is very true in my marriage, very true in my business. When I respected myself and didn't settle for things that needed up leveling in my business, like how much time I would spend with clients, or the type of clients that I wanted to work with or didn't want to work with. Whatever boundary setting needed to happen so that I would respect myself more and I could be happier, that actually led to being more respected from others, by others. And for you, adopting that belief that self-respect leads to more respect from others will also save you time and money, because you won't be looking for acceptance from the outside. Again, one of the greatest motivating factors that makes us overwork and not be present, keeps us stuck in busyness, even when we think the busyness is a good thing. We can still be too busy doing something that we love. Holy smokes, do I ever relate to that? Because I'm passionate about my work. I'm passionate and committed to doing things in the world that will contribute long past when I die, hopefully. So make sure that your action is meaningful action and that it's not motivated by fear like mine was. That's the second belief. The third belief that would be really important for you to adopt, that I had to adopt, is that my productivity increases when I slow down and choose to be more present. So I just got home from a 4-day vacation with my 2 sons. And one really big takeaway that has come out of that is so much more clarity in my self-awareness, what has been going on, and the personal growth and the professional growth I'm being led through right now. I have so much more insight, which leads to wisdom in my decision making and peace in my heart and my mind. And none of that could be possible, leading to greater levels of productivity, without taking a step back from a busy lifestyle, even doing important things, and putting my feet up and focusing on other things. Now, that decision to step back and slow down and be present is not only important, it's crucial to you speeding up and shortening the amount of time that it takes you to achieve that next level of success, or to achieve that next goal that will lead to the greater platform and greater influence. If you don't slow down, you're going to miss opportunities. Slowing down actually helps you speed up. Slowing down leads to greater peace, presence, and productivity and prosperity, all the P's. So I'm going to leave you today with a recap of those 3 beliefs to increase your peace, prosperity, presence, and productivity. And then I will give you some questions for you to take note of. Pause this video if you're watching the replay, or just rewind it when I'm done in a few minutes so that you can write them down, because these are going to be really helpful for your transformation. Recap of the 3 beliefs. 1, I'm already needed, valuable, and important. Nothing can add to my value or take away from my value. I just came into the world with value. 2, the more I respect myself, the more others respect me. It rings true in your business life, in your marriage, as a parent, in your friendships. Self-respect needs to come before you look for acceptance from those around you. That kind of acceptance is fleeting. And number 3, my productivity increases when I slow down, because your insight and your wisdom increase, and therefore you can apply it to what you're accomplishing. So you can accomplish deeper, meaningful, sustainable work. Those are the 3 beliefs that I covered in this video. And if you're just joining live right now, welcome. Thank you so much for making your growth a priority and your peace a priority, because it leads to greater levels of abundance and joy. And I'll leave you these questions now to reflect on so that you can take this training and apply it, because we all know that knowledge without application is pretty much dead. You don't want to just be carrying around knowledge and not do anything with it. So here's some questions for reflection. Are there needs in my life that aren't being met right now that I might be trying to fill with busyness? Are there needs in my life that aren't being met right now, if I'm really honest with myself, that I'm trying to fill with busyness? And the second question is, what do I get to avoid by being busy? Do I get to avoid the fact that I'm not happy in my marriage? Do I get to avoid the fact that I'm not achieving 1 or 2% more that I could be achieving at work and making a difference in other people's lives? And I'm capable of that, but I'm not actually challenging myself to do that. And that need for growth is going unmet because I'm just coasting along in my professional life. What needs aren't being met? And what do I get to avoid by being busy? Usually it's the uncomfortable things we don't want to face. Maybe it's how difficult it is to parent right now while you're up to such big things in your professional life. And yet your heart hurts because you want to give more time to your family, or you want to have more quality time with your spouse, or you want to develop your spiritual relationship or connection more, but you're not prioritizing that. What do you get to avoid by being busy? So if you have any questions right now, I'm going to pop over to Facebook and check in with you to see if there's any questions that you have, anything that you'd like my support with around moving from a life of busyness to being more present, productive, peaceful, and prosperous. So if you do have those questions, pop them in the comments. I'd be happy to chat with you in this comment thread or send you a resource if there's something specific that you'd like my support with. And thanks for joining. It's such a pleasure for me to join here with you live and to share with you my personal experiences, sometimes vulnerable, and clients' results that they get from working with me. So if you've thought that now is the time for you to prepare ahead of time for your own growth and you want to move aside obstacles so that you can have more peace while you achieve a big dream in your heart, I would love to support you. And my offer for you today is that we get on a 20-minute call and we see if we're the right fit for one another. And in that period of time, I can give you your next steps to feel less anxious and busy and more present and peaceful and prosperous. So we'll look at what's in the way and what are your next steps to move forward to create breakthrough and joy. So contact me. I have 3 of those spaces available over the next week. And I also have an awesome training called Magnetic You. This time it's going to be online, 5 days of teaching on how to become a magnet for better focus, greater levels of prosperity, more joy, and more organization in your life so that you can achieve big things. If you want to be a part of that training, send me a message and I'll send you the link. Have an awesome day, and thanks for joining me live.